Hello and welcome, folks, to Boatrek. I'm here with two very special guests, Marcelo and Starfleet Boy, and today we're going to talk about the Star Trek Prodigy opening sequence. And yes, it is a kids show, but this live stream may contain coarse language, so viewer and parental discretion is strongly
This is not a
advised.
kid's show, but the show that we're talking about is a kid's show.
Exactly. Marcelo, is this your first time on my channel?
Yes, it's the first time. It's my maiden voyage on the boat wreck, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, glad to have you.
Thank
And
you.
Hey,
also you,
Braxton.
Starfleet Boy. It's great to have. Oh, Braxton. Braxton, if you want to come on, we can link you up. Actually, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to send him the link.
Nice. And hey,
Invite.
geek. What up?
He can hop on if he wants. So, what were your initial impressions? Who wants to start? Somebody else but me while I do this.
I'll start. It was just fucking awesome. I had no idea what it was gonna be like, and then I was just like, I was at work today, and I was on my lunch break, and all of a sudden I see Star Trek's tweeting about this panel, and then the next thing I see is like, here's the opening sequence to Prodigy, and then I'm like, oh my gosh! So I like went out of the lunchroom, I put on my headphones, and I just like watched this thing, and I got so emotional and like got goosebumps, and I was like, what? Oh my god! And it was amazing, and then I've watched it like 30 times since that. I'm obsessed with it. I'm totally obsessed with this.
Braxton can't join us right now. He's eating dinner.
And naked. Oh.
This is where
that's a little too much information. Don't you think? Just a little bit, tiny bit.
So it was an interesting. What did you think, Marcelo? Did you think it was up to standard for Star Trek?
Well, let me tell you, the first time that I got to put my eyes on the trailer, I saw it shared out by Star Trek, and Star Trek didn't mention who did the opening sequence, who scored, who did the opening theme for Star Trek Prodigy. So in my head, I was thinking, this sounds like Michael Giacchino, who scored all the Star Trek Kelvin films, and who, FYI, is my favorite composer working today. Let's get that out of the way, right? Let's get that out of the way. So I listened to it and I was like, okay, but this sounds like. I watched it. I was like, this is amazing. One thing in particular that I liked at the start of the theme was the drums and the kind of dun dun dun, that the little thing. And
Yeah.
then I liked the use of horns throughout the opening theme. And the last thing that I really enjoyed was the little hint to the Star Trek theme at the very end of the credits. I thought that was very, very well done by Michael Giacchino there.
Yeah, the theme, which I've only heard 3 times, is it's. I don't know what it is about modern Trek themes, but they tend to grow on me. They don't have the initial impact that the '90s Trek themes did, which were, a little more memorable, like dun 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 dun, and Deep Space Nine and TNG. They're very bombastic. I find the modern ones, especially this one, are a little more subtle. Like Picard has a really great subtle theme. That's like, it's not bombastic, but this is adventurous. This is the first one that reminds me of like classic adventurous kind of Trek. And I like the melding of the traditional, seeing the ship go through different things and melding it with this like abstract, going through the characters themselves, and like the characters are these large things that the ship is like flying around, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Did you guys notice the iris imagery, like in two parts of the opening sequence, because we do know that in Discovery's opening sequence, there's a particular shot of like an eyeball,
Which
right?
I still don't understand what that eyeball is. Maybe like that
Well,
one.
I've got some pictures to share. I'm going to
Yeah.
cue them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it in Prodigy, but I don't get the eyeball, and I get it in Picard. I just still don't understand whose eyeball that is in Discovery. I've been for 3 seasons. I've been trying to figure it out.
I have come to the conclusion that it is Michael Burnham's eyeball.
Oh,
Because the
okay.
cool thing about that particular shot is that you see that shot, and the credit that is over it on the very bottom is the editor of Star Trek Discovery. So, you know what? I should tweet him and ask him about that. What's it? Whose eyeball is it?
Chad Rubel doesn't edit all the episodes, but yeah, he's one of the
Yeah, yeah,
editors.
yeah. He would definitely. Yeah. You know,
So,
even this open. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Even this opening static shot of space looks cool
Hmm.
because it's like just you know it seems ominous in a way, but then all the color comes in and that's thrown out the window.
And then you get the ship coming through some kind of vortex, which also looks like an eye. Modern Trek and
Mm.
their eye fetish. I don't know what it
There's
is.
there's definitely an eye fetish in modern Star Trek.
Well, the eye is the window to the soul, I guess. It's all very, very visual
That's
now,
true.
isn't it? So it's meant to please our eyeballs.
So
It
this is
sounded
a
it sounded
new.
dirty. Go ahead.
I don't remember the slipstream special effect, I guess, or whatever the warp. This whatever. But this is some kind of new or experiment. I mean, since the Protostar is a experimental type of ship, I saw some people speculating that it's creating like wormholes, like it's creating like,
No,
it might be using whatever that Borg technology is, the conduit technology or whatever. But so this is it exiting, and then later we see it creating whatever it is, which is pretty cool. Like it accelerates, and then it creates it, and then you see that effect again as it enters into that space, whatever that warp space is or whatever.
the visual representation of the ship through space, though, may be a little tricky. Like, I do think they're going to do this exhaust trail, like a jet thing that you see in the Kelvin movies. Maybe that has something to do with the type of ship itself. And there's a third kind of thing that comes out of the middle of it that creates a third kind of jet stream, like a booster.
Yeah.
I mean, we joke that like it's their NOS, like if they really have to get out of a situation.
And in the
I
trailer,
don't know. I don't know if it's warp or impulse though, and that effect at the end, which we're going to take a look at later. I don't think that's like a thing that's in the show. That's just something artistic that they're doing for the opening sequence.
I think
because
it's partially that, and I think you'll see it in the show. But like you do see in the trailer, there are times where she's flying and there's no trail coming out. It seems like when she accelerates, that's when like it initially shoots out that trail thing or whatever. But I do wonder if it's only for if it's only going to be short bursts of it. I don't think it's going to be leaving a trail. That's such a beautiful ship. Look at this thing. Sorry.
if the
I
ship
think they are establishing that there will be a trail coming out of those nacelles.
Mm.
I don't know if they're going to do
if
that for all the ships. Like it's just a creative choice for this particular show. I don't know.
why would they do that? No, if the ship does indeed have a slipstream technology, how would they how would they explain the ship remaining stable? Because when the USS Voyager used it on Voyager, they couldn't stabilize it very often. I mean, they could stay in the slipstream for like maybe 30 minutes, and then basically the ship would start shaking and all hell and basically be coming apart. So
Fly her
if
apart then.
they yeah. If they yeah. So if they introduce that technology, what kind of explanation do you think they're going to give to the audience as to
That
how that technology works
well,
and how
like
the ship stays stable and together in one piece? Or do you think they're just going to say, "Oh, this is a kids show. Nobody really cares about that"?
No, I don't think they're going to go too deep into it, but I do think if it is that slipstream technology, it could follow that at this point, whenever this show takes place, because it takes place after Voyager, they have stabilized it. And so maybe it's like version 2.0 or version 3.0 of that technology. But I actually think it's not going to be that. I think it's something totally new. It's a new kind of propulsion and a new kind of drive, and that's why the ship has the NX designation, because it's an experimental ship. And I think someone was saying, like in the panel tweets, they were saying that the bad guys are after the ship, that their goal is to get the protostar. So it must be important, like that they want this technology because maybe it can like pop. Maybe it's kind of like the spore drive, but without spores. Maybe it can like traverse them through like long distances, or something like that.
So this is when we discover that I guess the ship is kind of flying around huge versions of the characters that are in
Yeah,
the
it's pretty
show.
iconic.
And this is Rock Talk. Did you guys notice this right away, or did it take a
I
while to
didn't.
click in what they were doing?
I didn't notice it until I mean I wondered what these I knew they weren't like regular space type of structures, but I was so focused on the ship that I didn't really dissect or look at it. Like I was just like staring at the ship, and then TrekCore posted their like breakdown, and I was like, oh my gosh, of course! And now of course I see it like very clear and plainly.
No, it took me a very, very long time to realize that they were flying around silhouettes of the characters on the show because I was so blown away and focused on the music. That's really all I focused in for the first four times that I watched the video with the theme. So, but I think it's a very clever way to do an opening.
And they are keeping that jet. I'm not complaining about the streaks. I mean, it's a cool looking effect because the ship is special. That's the way I'm going to rationalize it. And again, this is an abstract kind of opening, so. Next, this is a nice image. This reminds me of something, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know if it's Superman or
The Enterprise
something.
coming out of yeah, the Enterprise coming out of the clouds on what was it on
Into Darkness.
No. When in the first Cabin movie, when the Enterprise hid behind Venus to mask that warp signal from
I
Nero's
think it
ship.
was Saturn, but yeah.
Yeah, Saturn. Thank you for correcting me.
But I think it does
Nerd.
remind me of Superman, like how he pops through the clouds. But it's also there is a famous something where like maybe Star Trek 4 kind of does that too with the bird of prey like popping through the clouds, but I'm not sure.
Okay. This eye,
Eyeball.
I suspect that this is Doll. Anybody object?
No objections here. I do
Seems
also
about right.
suspect it. Also, it has his color palette. Like, he's got that kind of bluish purple color palette to him.
Yeah.
That's
Geek
cool.
nailed it. Yeah, it's definitely when the Batwing goes up into the sky, hovers in front of the moon to make that signal,
That's
and then
it.
drops down again.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking, is it Superman? No, it was Batman. And this here is Zero.
The robot or
the Medusan.
The Medusan.
Okay. I clearly don't know these. I gotta watch the show. I don't know these characters.
Or you could just watch PJ's breakdown of the teaser trailer,
and that shot also mirror, kind of looks like this shot. I mean, it's entering. The ship's gonna enter the eye.
It's eye. It's eye.
What is it? What is it?
Do we not see a pattern emerging?
No, but also the ship. The ship is like shaped like a knife, so that makes it worse. If you look like
it's shaped like an arrowhead, indeed.
Yeah, or an arrowhead, a knife, or something similar to that.
And of course, this is Murph.
Murph the blobbies.
Good old Murph.
Jiggly blobs.
You can't tell right away, but then when you get the sparkly ones, you get some sparkle in them. Like, oh, that's the same stuff that Murph is made of. If you didn't know what the trailer was trying to do, you would just think
the opening.
These are all obstacles in the show, and it has nothing to do with the characters. If you didn't know anything, right?
Right.
But if you know if you know what the characters look like, they're all in here somewhere.
This is the closest to Voyager too. Like, I like that it's spiritually similar to Voyager. How Voyager was flying around the Delta Quadrant and every shot had like either a planetoid with ice or like rings. You know, it's just like the Voyager like navigating through all these like things. And so I think that's cool.
Trek on the Tube made a very good tweet about how they use more Voyager characters now in modern Trek than any other show. Like we have Tom Paris, we We have Icheb and Seven of Nine. Now we have Janeway and possibly Chakotay because Robert Beltran is in the show. It's like Voyager. They're taking a lot from Voyager.
It was the last show in that era, if
Yep.
you will, like other than Enterprise, which was a prequel, but
Yeah,
like
well,
in the,
Enterprise doesn't count because no, but wait. I'm not gonna shit on Enterprise because
okay.
technically Enterprise did not come out in the 90s. It came out in the 2000s.
Oh, okay, I see. Well,
So
regardless, like Voyager was the last show in that in that continuity, if you will, of like going forward. And so the like, and also I've noticed in my conversations with folks, a lot of younger folks, like younger than maybe like 10 years younger than me, like kind of that's their main show is Voyager. Like they grew up watching Voyager. I guess that was what was like on TV at the time. And so there's like a fondness for Voyager. And like, I think that like, Voyager's actually probably like the next popular after like TNG, I would say.
yeah, well, Voyager was the third Star Trek show ever produced right after TNG, so that makes sense. By the way, I'm going through Voyager right now, and there are things about Voyager that drive me nuts, but I love the show. Voyager is such it's just fun. There's something about it that just is fun.
This
It's
is
it's
yeah. Go
taking me
ahead.
a while. Well, I was just gonna say it's taking me a while to warm up to it, but I'm starting to enjoy Voyager more and more. I'm on season 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, actually I just started season 5 a couple days ago.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Sorry, PJ. I was talking about.
No, it's okay. Uh, Braxton says Voyager is my favorite Trek.
Yeah, I feel like that's a
There you go.
common
There's
sentiment.
a huge rabid Voyager fan base. I notice on Netflix it seems to be popular on there because it tends to trend sometimes.
Mm.
Or, not recently, but there's times where it's like they're in the top 10. I'm like, how? Is this just for me? Or like I was confused because usually it's like the new stuff is in the top 10. But anyway, this is the ship coming out of Jankum Pog's wrist, like, Spider Man's web shooters or something. It's like, shoo, shoot the ship out of my robot arm. Very strange, but it's visually arresting. I don't know. What'd you think?
It's visually intriguing.
Yes, that's
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I like how his I like
This is
how
pretty.
his Yeah, it's really beautiful.
You
I
like how
like how
what?
his well, Jenkum Pog's kind of hand forms as the protostar is flying through it. It like starts forming around the
Oh yeah,
protostar. It was like really cool.
it was. So you think this is the beginning of a Gwen's hair,
I think so.
and then it goes up and it reveals the character of Gwen. Like this is strange here. It's a nice shot though, and then we get Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
Her head.
And
What's
that does it. They don't show any other characters. The show's over. Nope. We still have two characters to go. This next character, I didn't know who the hell it was. I was like, is that Rutherford?
It also looked kind of like the front of the Discovery's nacelle a little bit to me, but yeah.
maybe that's like the eyeball of the big bag for this season.
It's
Well, it's
Dreadnought,
exactly. It's
voiced by
his.
Jimmy Simpson from Westworld fame.
Yeah, well, yeah, see. Yeah,
It's
I gotta
beautiful. It's a beautiful shot, though, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just everything's just so like every still image of the show is immaculate
Look
looking.
at those anamorphic lens flares too. They're so nice.
look at yeah, that's cool.
As long as it's not overkill.
Dude, yeah, me being the JJ fan, I'll appreciate those lens flares.
Why does he only have three fingers? Talking about Jankan Pog. I don't know. Did they make
I think
Tellarites?
does his robot hand has 3 fingers, but I don't know if his regular hand has 3 fingers. Does he have 2 robot hands, or does he only just have
He has one.
He's
I
one. Yeah, we
believe.
have to
Pretty
look.
sure.
We'll have to pull up the character and see if they show his other hand or something.
So the big bad of the show is Gwen's father, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Uh, and
the
uh,
diviner, right? That's his name.
The Diviner. Interesting. That's a cool name.
I need to look up who this guy is.
Very cool name. Yeah, I gotta watch somebody's like breakdown on who all these characters are because,
Oh,
or
oh,
I could
there's
just
been
watch the show when it comes out.
John Noble is the diviner, Gwen's father, and a ruthless tyrant who controls the asteroid Tars Lamora. And Jimmy Simpson is Dreadnought, the diviner's deadly robot enforcer, basically his henchman. Who this is? There's a better look at him right here. That's
There
where I
he
was
is.
like, oh, that's an interesting character. Who's that? It looks like one of the rainbow level in Mario Kart or something. When they go into
It's funny.
and who do
I
we
love
have
this.
here?
Ugh, Janeway.
Who could this possibly be?
It's cool how like she's like light particles and it's very cool. It's a very cool imagery. I also like this badge. I don't think it's gonna be the official badge. It's just the Prodigy logo, but I do dig it. It's like a kind of a cool take on the original series badge.
Did you notice that these opening credits didn't have credits? They're just.
Yeah, that's beautiful that it's just the opening sequence.
But
It's gonna have
then
credits for the show for sure.
I
It better
think they
have
may have
credits.
done that to avoid
Credits.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Because maybe some people don't know Robert Beltran. Oh, sorry, spoiler. Robert Beltran is in it.
Chakotay, yes.
Is he in it a
Sorry.
lot? That much? Do you
No
think?
idea. He's just done voice work for the show.
Hmm.
People assume it's Chakotay. Nothing's been confirmed.
Chakotay, I want you to come with me on this adventure on the Protostar.
Bring lots of coffee.
Yeah,
I
That's
want
not,
lots of
that's not
coffee.
what she sounds like. I'm sorry.
yeah.
That's cool, man.
Chakotay.
Okay.
I want to see these characters speak and interact with each other. That's one thing we haven't seen yet. We've kind of just seen them like with facial expressions and stuff. I just want to like the animation looks top notch. I just want to see.
Yeah,
I just
I
want to
think
see
we're gonna.
final product. Just go ahead.
I think.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I apologize a lot. So I'm sorry. You're sorry, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You're sorry. We're all sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, eh?
Sorry. Sorry. See the little Canadian there. I love it. I think that we're gonna get a another trailer for the show at Star Trek Day, and that's where we're gonna see these characters interacting. We're gonna get a good look at what the animation looks like in motion,
I believe so
and
as well.
yeah, and hopefully we'll see Janeway because she's the only character that we haven't seen yet in an actual trailer. By the way,
Before we go after we finish this trailer discussion, I do want to get your quick thoughts on what you predict will happen on Star Trek Day, and that's one of the things I want to see in the trailer is the shot of them activating Janeway, and Janeway like I am the emergency command training hologram, blah blah blah, and like she's kind of I don't want to say robotic, but just very hologram like at first, and like it's all about her developing a personality the longer she's activated, because it's going to turn out that they need her around a lot more than they thought. Like they basically, she's kind of going to be like the parent figure to these kids, I think.
I don't think she'll be an emergency hologram. Maybe she will. I think she might just be the command hologram.
Well, all of the holograms that substitute for
They're all
positions
emergency.
or
I guess
medical,
so.
I guess you would only use them in an emergency, or if you
Please
had.
state the nature of your command emergency. So that what she's gonna say probably.
I hope she does. That'd be
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's like what did the different variants of Rios his holograms say? Like one
That's a
says
good point.
I can't remember.
I don't remember. I have to watch. I should know this.
we should know. We should know.
Yeah, it's like another excuse to watch Picard for Starfleet Boy. Yay!
I love this shot. This is probably my favorite shot of the trailer
So good.
here. Right, as you notice, something's coming out of the butt there.
It's known
And
as
then
the
then it
aft.
lights
It's
up.
called the aft PJ. That's a good close up. That's cool.
It's the aft nacelle that pops out right there. It
See, I don't think it's a.
an extra boost. What do you think it is? Come on.
I think that's the drop.
I think it's
It's
another ship, like
no, it's the
another.
drive. It's like whatever it's called, the Protostar drive, or whatever you want to call it. Like I think that's a whole different propulsion technology, and they don't need it under normal conditions, like under warp and impulse. They only need it when. And then shout out to John Paris real quick. He's speculating that it activates like the DeLorean, like when you get up to like warp 9 or
88
something.
miles. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like when you get up to warp 9, that thing turns on and it takes you into a new kind of warp space of some kind. So I don't know. We'll find out. I definitely will be tuning in like to the show because I know we'll probably get all of that in the first episode. So that'll be exciting to find out what it actually is.
What do you think it is, Marcelo?
Well, I thought it's some kind of ship, but you guys have much more intelligent theories about what it actually is, and you guys are probably right.
Well, in the
Um,
trailer, it's something that it's a third. It's like a third leg that pops out basically, and
right.
gives it an extra boost.
I do like the nacelle designs on the ship. They look very very uh, Calvin-y to me, and I appreciate that a lot. And for me to say something that for me to say, for me to point out something about the ship design is very very rare because you guys know I'm not a ship guy. So, um, yeah. So there's
Well,
my 2 cents on that.
I'm not like a hardcore ship guy either, but I just like it when they look pretty.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
I mean,
And
it's a
this
really
ship,
pretty freaking ship. It's
it's
beautiful.
really visually appealing. It's something that you want to watch on an episode by episode basis. And it's small and
It's
compact, and it can do like probably a lot of very Star Warsy maneuvers, as I'm sure they hope they want to see.
yeah.
Do you think?
I don't think it's
Joke.
much bigger than the Defiant.
Yeah. Do you think that it can do a donut better than Discovery could do a donut?
Much
Yeah,
tighter donut.
must
Much better donut.
A much tighter donut than the Disco. What's the name of the Telluride character?
Jankum Pog.
You do see him talk in the trailer that they had released
Yes,
for Star Trek Prodigy,
he's the
and
only
you
one
only
you see his
hear
mouth moving. I think.
yeah, you see his mouth moving, and you hear Murph like go "Meow," or whatever. And
What's
Janeway's line is, "We've only just begun." That's her line in the trailer. If I'm
Yeah, but you don't see his lips move. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
you
know.
just hear
I'm,
her.
yeah, semantics. I know what you mean.
yeah.
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 I'm
By
just
the
being.
way, I really appreciate that the animators for Janeway gave her like legs that go all the way down to the floor. Like, I'm not. Well, yeah, that's one of my. I like
Oh, yeah,
women
she
with
has
long
incredibly long
legs.
legs.
I'm like, what the? Yeah, but yeah, seriously, this is what nobody wants to hear. But one of my turn-ons is I love tall women with really long legs. So, I will be dreaming about this version of Janeway,
Mm.
guaranteed.
Ooh la la! This certainly is a
Ooh
movie
la
for
la,
connotation.
indeed.
Sorry.
Um,
This is a nice
you,
shot of the hull. I really like this.
yeah.
The USS Protostar NX
What's the?
76884.
I was just about to ask that. What's the registry number? But
Um,
And you can see the bridge to the left, part of the bridge to the left of it, which is this weird, cool new. It's a new design of bridge, apparently, where it has like a clear top, like the whole entire top. It's like a dome of like transparent aluminum or something like that.
no, it's just plain old glass.
Yeah, right. Plain old- Geek in Review is asking, do you think the phasers will be a solid beam or pew pew ones? You know what I mean. They could be both because all of Starfleet ships can do both.
And
It'll just depend what the kiddos want to use.
Braxton says, no, that's TMI.
Oh yeah,
Marcel.
Braxton says TMI when he's letting us know he's eating his food nude, which would make sense if you're eating messy foods like lobster.
I think
because-
Braxton was TMI, if you ask me.
Yeah, Braxton. And Blue. Blue's nude too. You have a lot of nudists watching your show. Like, kind of interesting.
Well, the demographic is 35 to 45, so
No,
That's
but you know what?
awesome.
I'm
at
sitting
that
here.
age, you just don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sitting here thinking if every time if the ship is at warp, if they have those, if it has like that trail behind it there, that might get annoying to me just a little bit.
I
I
think that's a
just
permanent thing that's with the ship. I think that's the one kind of accurate visual representation of the ship. This other thing where it's making the delta, I think that's
Yeah.
purely just for
it's
the
not a delta, it's like some sort of like crazy
it it.
energy
It's a
burst
gel. It's shaped like
thing.
It's a delta thing, man. You can see it in the tree. Did you notice that? How it gets all
I,
delta-y?
it gets delta-ish, but I don't think it's a delta. It looks far no good. Like here, yeah. See,
It's
like
it.
Come
It's
on, man. You
supposed to
can't deny
subtly
it. Look at it.
represent the delta. I think. Don't you think?
yeah, subtly, but I like it.
I
I
mean, look at that
see.
shit. Come on, now, come
No, but
on.
it's like you know what it reminds me of is the kind of like the warp effect in Star Trek
Beyond.
Beyond.
Beyond, yeah,
Yeah,
the
it kind of
bubble.
looks like that.
Right?
But yeah, I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I think it's like far. It's just enough that it doesn't have to be the delta. I think that those.
I do love these two shots. This right here.
Yeah.
The ship looks really good.
Doesn't the ship have like a captain's yacht on it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it might be able to split into. We don't know what the ship can do yet, but I mean, it certainly has like. I think it's the size of like not too much bigger than the Defiant, maybe like a little bit longer than the Defiant. So I doubt it has a captain's yacht. It doesn't even seem to have a shuttle bay, so I don't even think it has shuttles on board. So it might have a detachable part. Maybe it's feasible that it has like a flyer of some kind that detaches from it. It has an interesting feature in the front. Like the whole thing kind of reminds me of the shape of the main hull and the secondary hull since it's like one unibody. It
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of like from front shots and back shots. It looks like the Flight of the Navigator ship. And so that's kind of cool. And then I think that yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it has a shuttle bay. It doesn't seem to. I mean, like the rocket thing, that other drive seems to be back there where the shuttle bay would be, and it doesn't look like it has like even a lot of space. Like I think it's pretty much that secondary part where the third nacelle or whatever you want to call it comes out of is probably all mechanical parts. Like because the actual warp nacelles also go down. They like the thing it kind of opens up and then tilts down on the nacelles. So when it's in that mode, that like what was it called when Kit used to go ultra? What was it when Kit used to like his flaps would come out?
Knight Rider.
Yeah, what was
Oh,
that mode?
I've never seen Knight Rider.
Oh man,
I,
later on
I've
in
seen that writer, but
later
I
on
don't
in the
know what that was.
seasons, the car could go even fast. Like it was like jet mode. It could go even faster, and like things would come out of the of like the Knight Rider car.
Could
And I
it
forget what
fly?
the,
Is that
I think it
like
was no. I think it was called like Ultra Mode or
really?
I can't remember,
You're
but
showing your age a little bit there, my friend.
well, I'm
You're,
I'm in the
yeah,
upper end of his demographic here.
yeah.
I think that's pretty much all we can say about an opening sequence for the show. I just think it looks good, and I hope on Star Trek Day they announce when it's going to happen.
I
Do
just
you
want to say
guys?
that it is exciting. Like I don't mind the opening credit sequences we've been getting. Uh, for like the main shows, but it's fun that the animated series, both of them feature the ships, and I like both of the, like the Cerritos is kind of like meant to be comedic. This one's a little more serious, which I think to me this stands up to this opening sequence with the visuals married with the music uh stands up to any, like I would say I always say Voyager for me is one of the best opening title sequences in Star Trek. And so I think this might be my second favorite. I don't know, I really love it. I love the excitement of the music married with all the visuals. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, as much as I love um, Michael Giacchino, for me, the best ever, opening title sequence to a Star Trek show is Deep Space Nine with the with the dome and then yeah.
That's the only one I hum just randomly.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, so great, so great.
Mhm.
Which for me is really difficult to say because you guys know I'm a TNG guy. So, um,
Well,
but
they just ripped off the motion picture.
yeah, kind of,
Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm joking.
No, it's
yeah.
true. It's the
So
same theme.
no, I wanted to ask you guys, do you think that because we know that this show is for kids, but do you think that this show is going to have deeper sort of storylines that the adults can understand that will go over the kids' heads, or do you think that
It,
this show will play to a very specific demographic in that this show is for kids and we don't want to alienate them too much?
I
I
think it
really,
won't talk down to them. That's what I think.
yeah, I really think so. Based on what Kate Mulgrew was saying, she's like, it's gonna be a show that people of all ages are gonna be able to enjoy. So I do think it's like gonna be a show that like, um, adults will be able to enjoy. I
And
don't
we'll
know
be able to
what that
enjoy.
recipe is gonna look like. Like the only show I can think of that I would watch with like a kid and that I enjoy, like I don't know. It's like it depends on the
Yeah.
age. I think like a younger kid, like in like 6 or 7 year old kid, is what I imagine the target is for this. And usually I don't think of like that as a show that I can watch, but Star Trek might have the nice recipe, like a good recipe for that. But like I was thinking of like the Bad Batch and like um Clone Wars, where I think like an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old could watch that show.
There's
And
action
then
violence, but it's not hard.
it's
It's not
not hard.
harsh in any
Yeah,
way.
it's not harsh in any way. Exactly. It's like very, yeah. So I think I have a feeling like it's going to be in that same kind of like realm. And there's a lot of cool lore moments and a lot of cool like world building that if you're someone who enjoys Star Trek, like I feel like this show could have like little nuggets and moments that everyone will enjoy. And I think that's like the line they've been taking. Like that seems like what Kate Mulgrew keeps saying and what everyone keeps saying is that it's going to be a show that like adults and young people will be able to enjoy.
Also, I think that it's a show that will remind the adults that hope is a good thing, and if because especially with what's going on in the world today, I think that adults need to be reminded to actually look up instead of looking
I like that
instead
sentiment.
of instead of looking backwards or looking down. Look up and be hopeful for the future. So I think for us, it's going to remind us why we love the overall message of Star Trek, um, which is yeah.
Now, I want to share a schedule for Star Trek Day, but it seems like it's going to really slow things down because it's like all frozen now already. But anyway,
Yeah.
uh, do you? Okay, let's. Oh,
By the
Father's
way,
there. How's it going, Father? Go ahead.
I'm really pissed with the schedule for Star Trek Day. You have no idea how angry I am.
Why?
I'm
Why?
so
Because it's late.
angry and pissed. No, because look, yeah. In Los Angeles, what is it like? It's at like 5:30 in the morning, which doesn't make any sense at all.
No, Jesus Christ, no,
No, it's
God.
5:30 in the afternoon. It's gonna be
5:30
eight
in the
thirty
afternoon.
p.m. In
Wait, wait, wait,
on the East
wait, wait,
Coast.
wait, wait. Help me. So it's 8:30 p.m. for us,
Yeah,
right? Not a.m., right?
later for PJ, but yeah, eight
No,
thirty
but
p.m. Yeah,
It's going to be
for
around 10 o'clock. It starts 10 o'clock where I am,
yeah,
p.m.,
but
which is
okay, PM.
perfect. I love that. I love that it's
Oh
happening
my
like in
god,
the.
you guys made me so happy. Oh god, when all right,
yeah. It's
when we
it's
yeah,
post meridian, not anti meridian.
okay, when we get off the air, I'm gonna hug you guys.
You
I'm
can't. We don't.
I don't see how that's
yeah,
possible, but
yeah, no, but I'm going to virtually hug you guys because I was all backwards on that, but oh my god, you guys just made me so happy. You do not understand how happy you just made me.
um,
All right, I'm gonna shut up now.
no, it's okay. We're here to
Sorry.
talk.
Yeah,
I
man.
know.
You're here to
I know.
contribute.
Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
Well, it starts
Dum, dum.
next Wednesday, September 8th. It's going to start with Jeff Russo and the orchestra overture. I'm just going to go through the ones that we're not going to talk about real quick. Okay, we can't. I don't need a soundtrack, dude.
Sorry.
Stop it.
I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read.
I can't help
somebody.
it. Here.
It's like somebody who whistles at work. You want to strangle them. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Shut up.
By the way, I think that's going to be a medley or an original piece of music that he's doing for Star Trek Day, which I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be like a combination of like all the music, so it sounds really cool. Because like an overture typically is like this bigger, like a kind of like when you watch. I think it's only in the director's cut of
the motion picture.
The motion picture. There's like this whole like musical sequence that they put on before the movie starts, and so
yeah, it's
I'm
like
excited
it's
about
like
that.
what, almost 6 minutes before.
Oh yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, like
It's amazing.
I think the
It's
yeah.
awesome.
So I think it's an original piece that's gonna have like elements of all the new stuff and some of the old stuff. I hope so.
It's
Yeah,
a
by the
6-minute
way-
thing because the welcome remarks by Will Wheaton and Micah Burton, LeVar Burton's daughter, are happening 7 minutes after Russo's thing. So,
By the way, fun fact about Jeff Russo, who is an awesome composer, by the way. He does the music for another brilliant science fiction TV show, alternate history TV show that all of you should check out. For anyone who hasn't checked it out, who's watching
For
this
All
live stream
Mankind?
right now, yes, watch For All Mankind. That show is the bomb. PJ will tell you.
yes.
He also
amazing.
does the music for the Umbrella Academy and a bunch of
That's
other shows.
That's right.
Also, another exciting thing I noticed in Star Trek Discovery Season 3 is John Ottman, the composer for Superman Returns, which is a beautiful score, is a producer for Star Trek Discovery Season 3. So I thought that was cool.
Okay, panel 3 is going to be at 5:45. This is Pacific time. It's the Star Trek Prodigy with Micah Burton. She's going to interview Dan and Kevin Hageman, D. Bradley Baker, who does the voice of Murph, Ben Hibben, and Brett Gray. They don't say what they're going to show. It's all going to be a surprise. They might show a trailer.
Oh, they better show Janeway. If they don't show Janeway, people are going to riot.
It would make sense that they would show a trailer. The next panel is Legacy Moment, Deep Space Nine. Sarah Lofton shares the impact of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and a few of the most memorable scenes from the series. My dream would be, and we're announcing that it's going to be remastered. That won't happen.
Oh my God.
They're probably going to show HD clips that the guys from What We Left Behind procured. But yeah. The next one is the Star Trek Discovery panel. I want to see a Star Trek Discovery Season 4 trailer that gives us a good sense. Because the first one was a while ago. And they were pretty early in the filming process when they released that Season 4 teaser. And now we're almost like a whole year. I don't know if it's a whole year, but it's a good few months later now. And they have a lot more filmed. And keep in mind, they can use a lot of shots that had the wall as their visual, because a lot of the visual effects had to be done before they actually filmed these scenes, because if they were using the AR wall, all of that had to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited to see the Star Trek Discovery panel for two reasons. Because I'm interested to see if Michael Burnham, for me, gets way. I mean, I love Michael Burnham, but I don't like her particular style of command and the way that she treated certain crew members when she was somebody's first officer. So I'm really interested to see if all those issues that I have with the way that she goes about doing her job go away once she's sitting in the captain's chair.
I believe any of the characters in Season 4 will resolve every issue with a big tissue, because they're going to cry and cry and cry and cry throughout the whole season. At every somebody's going to stub their toe and they're going to have an existential crisis for 3 days. I'm joking.
Dude,
I'm teasing. It's gonna
I don't.
season 4 has to be good because it was the hardest season for them to film.
Yeah,
It was the season that they had to go into knowing exactly the F what they were gonna do. Like they couldn't mess around. Basically,
no.
for some reason I think some of the restrictions. I hope they don't hinder the creative process. I hope it helps it. You know what I mean? I hope it gives everybody everybody who has a role knows exactly what everybody else is doing. Because when they get there, time is really money. You know what they used to say, time is money.
Time is money, yeah.
During these restrictive kind of filming processes, time is certainly fucking money because you're not only paying, you're paying a whole bunch of extra people to make sure that everybody's safe and, distance. And there's it's a big headache. And Discovery season 4 took like 9 months, didn't it? 8-9 months to film.
Yeah, 8-9 months. Yep.
Took a long gosh darn time, eh?
With the
So I
COVID
mean,
stuff
I think if any season of Discovery has the chance of being the best,
it's this one.
it's season 4 or bust, dude. I don't know. Can't see it going down in quality. You know what I mean?
No, it's going to go up. I have faith. I have faith in the heart.
Yes, you do. Speaking of faith of the heart, the next panel is Legacy Moment Enterprise. Anthony Montgomery shares the impact of Star Trek Enterprise and a few of the most memorable scenes from the series. So these legacy presentations are just basically one of the people from the show are showing like highlights.
It's cool that they got Anthony Montgomery to do that.
Is this going to be virtual or is this going to be in a place? This has to be virtual, right?
It's virtual, I believe.
I think it's going to be virtual.
It's probably going to be a lot like Star Trek Day was last year.
Yeah.
But
any fans of Enterprise here?
Oh yeah, I love Enterprise. Look. I
was a hater when it came out, but I love Enterprise.
Oh, shame.
Was it a long road? Was it a long road for you?
It was a long road getting from there to here.
No,
but my time is finally here, and so yeah, I do like it now.
No, I like Voyager for me. There's something about Enterprise that is just like a really, really, really good meal of everything I like and almost nothing I hate, which sounds really weird. But Star Trek to me, in general,
what did you say? That sounded weird, dude.
I didn't say anything.
No, say that. No, I know what you mean. It's like,
yes, okay.
It's a medley. It's almost like a good meal. It's like a medley of nice little things that you enjoy.
Yeah, I sound like the psychiatrists on the Cerritos. I'm trying to make food metaphors, which are not working.
Dr. Miglimo.
Yeah, Dr. Miglimo. But Star Trek,
well, you've put yourself in a pickle now, Marcel.
He just wants to feel.
Can I just finish?
Go ahead.
I just want to feel. PJ. Why aren't you letting me feel? What is wrong? I'm never gonna come back on this channel again. No, I want to come back for a Deep Space Nine discussion. I just want to put that out there. No, I think that one of the best things about Star Trek is just like a really, really comfy, nice blanket that you can just slip into and have some amazing fun with science fiction and shit.
I was gonna say, you're gonna say something else. I slip into bed and have some amazing coitus.
I'm not going to say that because I was going to say something too, but I won't say that.
The next panel, which is panel 7 at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, is Strange New Worlds. And by God, if they don't show
a teaser, we'll get a teaser at least.
Please God.
I want to see what that bridge looks like. I want to see what those uniforms look like.
Sorry.
You're not going to get any of that. You're going to get a teaser. It's going to be a voiceover with scenes from the cage.
No.
No, please.
Oh, God. Please. They did that already, dude. They did it and messed it up.
I think we're going to get...
They showed the best version of Telosians, and then they showed a bastardized version, like literally right after. The cut between Jeffrey Hunter and Anson Mount was
And
great
Ensign was great.
because they look alike. That worked.
Yeah, it was cool.
But why couldn't they make the other things in that episode look like the
Yeah,
episode?
So you didn't like the update on the Philosians? I thought for my money I thought they looked cool.
Telosians. Did you say
Telosians.
Philosians or Telosians?
I did Philosians or Telosians.
It's Telosians, yeah.
Guys, this happens to me all the time.
Or as the British say, Telosians.
Yes, guys, this happens to me all the time when I'm on the Star Trek panel with a bunch of people who know much more about Star Trek than I do.
We don't. We actually don't.
I'm kidding. You guys are.
But I think that it's going to be a 1 minute and 33-second trailer.
You think it's going to be just a voiceover of Anson Mount?
No. I think we're going to get a teaser. Like, at the very least, we'll get a sizzle reel. Like, it'll be just like partially showing the production and then partially showing like clips. But I don't know how much finished. I don't know how much post production they've finished or anything like that. So.
They do post during production. Like they work.
Oh, really? They work on so like.
And with the use of the AO walls, like
it's true. A lot of it could be already like finished, basically.
Yeah.
For Discovery and Strange New Worlds, there was a different approach to the visual effects aspect of it, whereas most of it is completed in post, which also means while they're still filming. I mean, they have early episodes pretty much completed by the time they're filming the last ones, right? Mm-hmm. Although they do work on elements from every episode at any given time, you know what I mean? It's never like we just work on this one, complete it, work on this one, complete it. It's not. So they film it all first, but with season 4 of Discovery and Strange New Worlds, the AR walls means a lot of those visual effects have to be done before the cameras are even rolling. So it leaves like half of the visual effects. It takes away from the post, like it takes away the workload. Not to say that they don't work as much because they still had to do the visual effects before filming, but now it's like split between before filming and after, which is a strange thing that's relatively new, and that the kind of Mandalorian kind of spawned, invented.
Father says we will get a trailer. Like, definitely.
Oh, we better get.
We have to get a. We gotta get it.
We gotta get a fucking trailer.
All I want to see is. Here's what I think the trailer's going to be. Anson Mount, ding, 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 space, the final frontier.
I love it. I hope
these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Yes, her 5-year. You're gonna make me cry.
I don't know if he'll say her. Or maybe people would have a problem with genderizing the ship now. I don't know if that's an issue anymore.
They never say her. Isn't it? It's 5 year in the original.
I think the original. I can't remember.
No, I think it's 5 year on its 5 year.
It's 5-year mission.
It's
fine.
Yeah.
There you go. It's 5-year mission. The exact same thing. Because that's something that the Enterprise guys say. That's a thing of the Enterprise captains do. Yeah. Kirk did it. Picard did it. Why can't Anson Mount? Or even if they ever showed at a Robert April series or something.
Yeah. Poor Archer didn't get to say it.
He did.
At the very end, he says part of it, but then all the other captains say it.
Dude,
yeah, but it still counts.
Dude, but Archer had some amazing speeches though.
Yeah, but he didn't get to say that.
He had some amazing speeches.
Still, he didn't get to say the whole thing.
Oh,
they gypped him. I had seen the finale of Enterprise before I'd seen the show, and I was like, "What's the big deal? Why does everyone complain about the finale?" I loved it, and then when I saw the show, I was like, "Oh yeah, I could see why people are mad." Like they didn't.
Did you read this already, or did I not notice?
No, I haven't read this.
I'd be surprised if we didn't get a full story trailer for Strange New Worlds. That season is more done than Disco season 4. I think it might even come out next after Prodigy, since Disco and Picard took longer.
Interesting.
No, I don't know. If they announce that it comes out, a short while after Prodigy, I'm gonna get up from my house and I'm going to leave my house for like the first time in 6 weeks and go running out on the streets.
Well, I don't know.
Sorry.
We don't know how. I mean, they did both finish around the same time. The only thing is, Disco has more episodes. Strange New Worlds has 10.
10 episodes.
they've been working on it for quite a while. I'm pretty sure like they've got enough visual material, like in terms of completed special effects, that they could show off like a decent trailer that explains or at least showcases that it's episodic. Like,
Yeah. The other thing that is the other thing that I think is in Strange New Worlds credit is that because of the world ending, Strange New Worlds had a lot of time to work on its scripts, right? Like much more time than they would have had if the world didn't end. So just based on that, I think that the caliber of storytelling that we're going to get from a script standpoint will be something very special and very strong to sort of recall something that Fathery said on the last episode of Starfleet Boy, because he mentioned something similar to it. So I think the storytelling in season 1 is going to be very tight.
hopefully.
Yeah, says the writer of the group.
The next panel is the Voyager legacy stuff. I mean,
Who's doing that
okay.
one?
Garrett Wang.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
Garrett
it Wong?
Wong.
Yeah.
You guys don't think that we're gonna get a sneak peek at the Voyager documentary, because this is actually an official Star Trek event, right? So
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's independently produced.
I don't think we'll get anything about the Voyager. Actually, recently, I mean, if anybody, I don't know if you got the email, but I think they released the video publicly. They sent me a private or an unlisted kind of preview of people walking into the studio, different people sitting down, and
yeah, they just
they're not at a point yet where they can do a trailer for the documentary though. The documentary is nowhere near.
And documentaries
complete.
typically take like a fast
Years.
documentary takes 3 years from start to finish to make. That's a fast one.
I mean,
Like
what
typically
we left
it
behind
take like 5 years. Yeah.
What we went behind felt like forever.
It took a while.
So they are. It is confirmed that they are going into the archives and remastering clips of Voyager.
That's gonna be insane.
And because that process
so
will
exciting.
take a hell of a long time, I think we won't get a trailer for the Voyager documentary until
That feels so exciting.
next year, sometime next spring.
I feel excited for Voyager fans because it was pretty cool to watch in the theaters, and see DS9's.
They've been released in theaters.
I'm sure they will. Fathom Events or Adams, whatever they're called now, but Fathom Events will do. They did the DS9 doc, and I'm sure they'll do the Voyager doc.
They pick and choose here. They always do those selected kind of screenings. Like they don't do that. They didn't do the Star Trek 4 thing here. They did do What We Left Behind, and because I didn't support it while the campaign was happening, I was like, I'm going to buy a ticket in theaters and watch it. Support it that way. And with Voyager, I supported it, and if it does end up in theaters, I will still go. I will still go see it in theaters just so I can be like, hey, that's my tiny little name amongst the thousands of names there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was a backer on What We Left Behind. Like I didn't contribute a lot because I have
the Blu-ray. I'm gonna go look for your name now. That's cool.
Yeah, but I was a backer of What We Left Behind.
So is Father. You can see Father's name on there. It's cool.
His actual name or his father.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. It's Stephen W. Father. He's there. It's there in the. It's there in the YouTube there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out.
What does the W stand for? Have I asked this before? I don't think I know what the W. It's Winston, isn't it? It's like or Winchester.
Stephen
Winchester Fathery. Wilson.
So wait a minute. Fathery is his
last name.
Oh, I thought that was it. Wow. Yeah. Why don't I ask?
It's just that his last name is so cool. People just call it.
It is
Fathery.
a cool name. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool last name to call as the first name.
Yeah,
or their nickname.
Winston. Yeah. Winston is cool too. It's like
I made up the middle name. Awesome. I don't know what the middle name actually is. It could be Will. It could be William. It could be William or whatever.
The next panel after that is panel 9 is Star Trek Lower Decks, and Mick McMahon, Noel L. Wells, and Eugene Carrero sit down with host Micah Burton to provide fans with an update on the second half of season 2.
Ooh,
Ooh.
exciting.
So
But
that by that, go ahead.
I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's
Keep
fine.
apologizing. Stop doing that.
It's like
Yeah. Yes. Smack myself. I'm really excited for that panel because I feel that in all the panels that we get for Lower Decks, um, the actress who plays Tendi is like almost never there. So she's always away doing something. So it'll be nice to actually have her
well,
on the virtual panel answering, talking about, whatever they're going to talk about.
that was one time though,
Like,
wasn't
am
it?
I the
Where
only person that
she just
notices
sent a
that?
message. Other times she's
Right.
been there, but it was just the most recent one
Yeah,
where
I feel
she.
like she was in the other ones. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just me, but I'm a huge Tendi fan. So anytime that I get to see the actress talk about the character, is great. By the way, do you guys think they're going to address the Shax thing at all? I'm not
I mean,
letting
I
that
think we'll
die.
find out. I think we're gonna find out as the season progresses. I think there's more to it. Wexcalibur. That's the best version of Father's W. Stephen Wexcalibur Father. Wait,
I don't
sorry.
want Mike McMahon to come out and say, "Oh, by the way, we are going to explore more of Shax's." I'm like, no, that would
Yeah,
ruin
it's
the
fine.
joke of the
Yeah,
episode.
I
The whole
agree. I
point of the
agree.
joke is that you
You're
don't
not
think
supposed
about
to
it.
know. You
Don't
don't think
worry
Yeah,
about
about
it.
it. Yeah.
yeah. No, I think
And if you
you
do
know
know,
what
it's too much to think about, type of thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. You know what? I do think that is like the nerdy side of my Star Trek fandom that I need answers for certain things. But I think you're right, PG. I just gotta let it go.
Well, think about the lower
Let
crew
it
members when
go.
Spock comes back and they're like, how? They're really genuinely asking how, and it's like, well, his body got sent down to the Genesis planet, and then he grew up really fast, and then Savick had to help him with the Pon Farr stuff, and then before the planet collapsed, they had to get him off, and he aged just the right amount while he was on the planet to match up to Leonard Nimoy's age when he died. So that's how it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, that's what
Uh, Speaking of Spock, panel 10 is Legacy Moments, the original series hosted by George Takei. Oh
George
my.
Takei. Oh my.
He
I
shares the
didn't
impact of
know.
Star Trek, the original series, and a few of the most memorable scenes from this series.
One of the
That sounds
most
like Robert
memorable.
Sterling,
Yeah.
the Twilight Zone dude. Take a look into the mind of George Takei. I mean, that's cool. I mean,
That's
Legacy.
cool.
I've seen Legacy TOS moments in so many goddamn things. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna show, they're gonna show the clip where he's like, "That's why we're aboard her," and they're gonna show the interracial kiss. They're gonna show the, they're gonna show all the meme-ish stuff. It's gonna be same old with TOS, which is cool.
Which is cool.
Maybe they might announce we're remastering TOS
For 4K.
for 18K. No, I mean it would be absolutely crazy and the talk of the entire thing if in the DS9 panel and the Voyager panel they
Oh my god.
they announced that I mean just the beginning process because it's a 4 or 5 year process to remaster these two shows at least.
Yeah, but would
And
you
it's a big
imagine
job.
that?
It's an astronomical job. In fact, people anybody in the industry would maintain that the remastering of TNG was one of the single biggest and most complicated remastering of a TV show ever
But so worth
because,
it because it's
because
gonna
of the many
live.
elements that had to be recombined.
Yeah, but so worth it because it's gonna live forever. Like that's cool. Like I mean, maybe it's not in 4K or whatever. It's 2K, I think someone told me, but regardless, it's gonna live on. It's like high quality enough that it'll last for a long, long time.
It's gonna
As
outlive
far as
us.
like as TVs get more and more complex, etc. And I think Voyager and DS9 totally deserve that treatment. These are to me Star Trek, especially you know for here in the United States is like an institution. It's like iconic. It's like part of what you think of as our culture. It's like Star Trek pizza, Star Wars, like Coca-Cola, that that kind of thing. So I think it deserves to be like preserved and like treated with like love and care.
Star Trek pizza, sex, and Coca-Cola. There you
Sex
go.
is
That's better.
universal. That's all over the world. But I feel like Star Trek also actually has transcended the just being an American icon. Like
Yeah, no,
all over the world, it's been translated into like basically every language on the planet. Like you go to any place in the world and you mention Star Trek or do the gesture, the live long and prosper gesture, and people are gonna know what you're talking about.
No, I think that Star Trek. The best thing about Star Trek is that it has a hopeful vision of humanity, and I think that message for particular individuals can be very, very important. You know, um, Specifically individuals that have lost their way and need something to sort of guide them back to the people that they want to be. Um, yeah, I don't know
I
where
mean,
that came
Breaking
from.
Bad could do that for someone, but I just think, yeah, I think Star Trek does it in an exemplary way.
And Gene Rod. Yeah, go ahead.
But Breaking Bad is a show that tells you what happens to a man when he goes down the wrong path, and Star Trek is the opposite direction.
It can show people. It can show people going down the wrong path, but it's always meant to show the power of good and the power of love and positivity and diplomacy.
The power of love.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need no credit card to ride on that train. Let me tell you. In the future, it's true.
What's in your wallet?
Sorry. By the way, the Strange New Worlds panel is like 20 minutes, and
yes.
The lower decks panel is a half an hour. And the little legacy moments that they do, they're basically just like 5 minutes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And then the panel after the TOS Legacy one is the Roddenberry Legacy in celebration of Gene Roddenberry's 100th birthday. Will Wheaton discusses the Star Trek creators' indelible impact on science fiction and culture with some of Star Trek's iconic cast and crew. And Rod Roddenberry, Gates McFadden, LeVar Burton, and George Takei are set to appear on that. And that's a 20-minute thing. So it does sound like this is all pre-recorded, edited, quick. I actually kind of like that because it's like, boom, like one segment.
And yeah, they're all pre-recorded. I think Gates McFadden alluded to such on her a tweet that she did. But yeah,
it makes total sense not to do it completely live. I mean, that would be very complicated. But yeah,
no.
Obviously, that's what they did. That's what they did last year anyway. So, and it's very quickly edited. I found like they want to
get to the point.
It's great because I was kind of lamentful that the 50th anniversary didn't get like as much pomp and circumstance, but I'm happy to see that like the 55th anniversary is getting like a good, because it's like a nice little marker moment, little milestone moment, I should say. So I'm really pleased with that. I mean, like I think Star Trek Beyond was the 50th anniversary release, and like again, it just didn't feel like there was a lot of like
I love that movie, by the way.
Like pomp and circumstance around it, and like to me this is great. So
I remember the 50th was very anticlimactic. I mean, Discovery was coming out, and we didn't know a lot, but
they didn't even make it on time for the
Beyond.
Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery was coming out.
Star Trek Discovery was announced, I think, but like they weren't able to do anything on time. Like basically Beyond was like the big deal, and there wasn't like this Beyond
this
was level of like like before, like for example, I just remember growing up, the 20th anniversary. It was called the 20th anniversary special. It was a whole special, and then the 25th anniversary special. They did a whole special. There was a 30th anniversary special.
The 30th is the one I remember watching.
You remember
on
that
TV,
one, yeah?
And not having any idea First Contact was happening.
That's awesome.
And then they just all of a sudden show a clip of Data and the Borg Queen. I was like, new movie, new uniform, Borg Queen. I didn't know it was Borg Queen at the time, but I knew it was Borg related. And I'm like, what is this? What?
And I think
like, flabbergasted.
And I think the 30th was like the last big special, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the last big television special where they had. it was like the Academy Awards almost. Like they had a big place rented, and it was huge.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so
yeah, I
this
remember.
feels like that vibe again, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, I don't, as a kid, I don't remember any of those, birthdays for Star Trek. But the one thing I do remember from my childhood, where I just lost my mind on the home release of Mission Impossible, because when it was released on VHS, they attached a trailer for First Contact onto that VHS, and I watched that VHS a million times because I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan. You guys know this, but the first time I bought that VHS and I watched the trailer, I was just I was just so amazed. That movie, that trailer really intrigued me, like because it was that like typical 90s, guy talking. It was like a captain in his ship, and it was just amazing.
A race
um
against time.
there you go, there you go, there
Very
you go.
breathy.
Yeah. um but I think I'm very happy that I am experiencing Star Trek again with a group of like-minded people, because you guys are making my Star Trek fan experience so much better. Um, so yeah, I don't know.
Thanks. Feelings
I
mutual.
yeah. I
Where
mean,
a
I know I'm a
captain has
little.
to deal with his past trauma.
There you go. Yeah.
You're a coward.
Um,
If you were any other man, I would kill you
I
where you
was
stand.
wondering
I was
when
like,
you. Yeah.
why is Worf going to kill him where he stands?
That's funny.
Yeah.
PJ,
After
young PJ was having an existential crisis.
I swear to God,
aneurysm.
when they premiered the actual full trailer on Entertainment Tonight, I lost my fucking mind. I was like, because that's the first time you saw. Actually, the one thing where they do like back in the day, they used to do the teaser of the trailer, much like they do now,
Yeah.
where it'd be like tomorrow night, the debut of the First Contact trailer, and the one part they showed was if you were any other man, I would kill you where you stand, and that's like that was the hook to get you into just seeing the trailer. And then seeing the whole thing where he's like, the line must be drawn here, and he's sweaty, and
Oh
she's
yeah,
like,
it's so
blow up the
good.
damn ship. I'm like, they're gonna blow up the ship. They just got a new one. It's like it gave away a little much actually when you think about it, but it gave away literally the best moments of the fucking movie. But I mean, it was
Yeah.
good. It's good. Anyway, the 12th panel, and the second last one, is the Next Generation Legacy panel, where it's just a 5 minute thing. LeVar Burton shares his impact, shares the impact of Star Trek TNG, and blah blah blah. Memorable scenes. Then the last one is Picard. Will Wheaton sits down with the cast and crew of Star Trek Picard to share what to expect in season 2, along with a live performance, of Blue Skies by Isa Briones.
To be honest.
Oh, that's awesome. I listened
You
to
know
that a
what?
lot. I love her
You know.
rendition of it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm really upset by
It's
with
good.
that. I'm kind of angry, but being the fact that it's only 5 minutes, I'm like, why would he show up anyway? I really wanted Terry Metalis on that panel,
What panel?
um, the Picard panel,
Yeah,
because
well,
he's in
he's
it.
not going to be there. No,
Yeah, I know,
it's
but
not
he's in
five
the
minutes
show.
though.
Yeah. Oh, it's not 5 minutes.
No, the legacy moments like with
Oh,
Voyager,
legacy.
they're
Yeah.
going to be like a 5 minute clip show each one of those. It's going to be an introduction by the actor, and then like a clip show probably with a voiceover
Mhm.
or something. But the actual like lower decks and discovery panels, they're around 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that the Picard one is about that, and I want to see a gosh darn trailer, man.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be
I want to
cool.
see Seven and
I want to
Rafi
see
in
him
like
Q,
Los
man.
Angeles. You want to see what?
Yeah, I want to see some Q. Yeah,
More
some
of them.
Valenti. Yeah, more of them.
They do
Um,
hint at that little trailer. They show the finger snap.
the
I don't
snap,
know
yeah.
if that's supposed to be like pre special effect, or maybe they just cut that out. Maybe he actually just
Mhm.
snaps and they don't do the. Shoo. They do some other effect. I don't know. Maybe.
It's gonna be the classic effect. Come on, you can't have Q doing his thing without that effect.
No,
it might be a
no.
little fancier, but
No,
it'll do the
no.
same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's literally like it's this elaborate like special effect, totally unnecessary, that creates like an obscene amount of lens flare when it happens.
It actually blinds you for a minute. Like you have to
Well,
actually like
that was the
recover.
point of the special effect, is that it was such a bright light that happened. It could
You could cut.
it was more
It could-
believable than the hard cut that they used to do in the olden days when they'd be like freeze and then they'd like put a cigar in their mouth and a hat.
Yeah,
in their head,
literally.
like, how did this cigar get in my mouth?
If you pause the effect at one point, the whole screen's white. So yeah, it's literally like ideal for a cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I was I just want to hear Terry Matalas talk about how he approached writing Star Trek Discovery season 2, but that's something I don't think we're going to get until the series is available on VOD and Blu-ray.
Be right back in 2 seconds. Keep talking.
Yeah, because nobody wants to hear about the writers. It's all about the actors. So
Since PJ's gone, I'm gonna hum the Prodigy theme as you
Go ahead.
talk. Dun, 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 dun,
no,
dun,
it's like I just
dun,
that's really annoying.
dun, dun.
I'm sorry.
dun, dun,
I'm
dun,
sorry.
dun,
That is
dun, dun,
really annoying.
dun, 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 dun.
All right.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba.
What did I just come back to? Stop whatever you're doing. What was that? What was it? What was that?
Dun, 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 dun,
What is
okay,
it?
sorry. It's the Prodigy theme. I can't stop singing it. I'm
Oh,
obsessed
Jesus
with
Christ.
but I'm really excited about Picard for two reasons. I think that Terry Matalas is going to put a literal space, and I know you're going to hate this. He's going to put a literal space band-aid over all the issues that I had with Picard season 1.
that
He's
you
gonna make-
had.
No, but that I had. I'm just gonna say me because I don't speak for everyone else that doesn't like Picard.
What's
because
going to be
I
brilliant about what Terry Matalas does is people who love Star Trek Picard are going to love it even more because he's just going to enhance what happened before. And then people who didn't love it for
More
whatever
fucks per
reason-
minute. More eye gouging. More eye violence.
people who didn't love it for whatever reason will
This
be
time,
like
Jerry
super
Ryan's going to get both her eyes pulled out at the same time.
Look.
And then Picard's going to have to shoot her in the head.
Terry Matalas read all your tweets about what you didn't like about Star Trek Picard, and he's going to fix all those things.
No,
I'm sorry, I'm being belligerent. I should
No, but it's all right. It's all right. I deserve that one. At least I'm not like Ruben, because Ruben sucks the joy out of everything when it comes to Star Trek Picard.
He loved
Right?
the first episode. He was crying. I have him on my show crying about how beautiful the first episode was.
By the way, I've not heard anything about Whoopi Goldberg filming. They've kept that pretty tight-lipped. If it did happen,
super tight-lipped. Yeah, it happened for sure. Because why would you publicly invite someone onto a show? She's there. She's there for sure. It's just we have no idea what
people suspect it might be. Jerry Ryan or Seven and Rafi visiting her in Los Angeles.
What if it's super meta?
May
like,
require some like de-aging or something.
No, but what if it's super meta and like Guinan retires as Whoopi Goldberg?
No, they wouldn't do that.
Like
Guinan goes back to her.
Probably not watch any more episodes of it.
No,
she becomes Whoopi Goldberg, and then she has to admit, they find her on The View, and they're like, we know who you really are, and then she confesses, and it's like this whole time.
You mean that Whoopi Goldberg is secretly Guinan?
Yeah,
like Guinan actually posed as Whoopi Goldberg for a time as a movie star and stuff like that. Yeah,
right, exactly.
That would
that would not considering work.
That would not work, but it's a funny idea.
You know what? I wouldn't. You know what? I totally kind of don't hate that, but seriously, if, but seriously, if you're listening, Terry, don't do that. Don't listen to Starfleet Boy. Don't do that. Please
That's what's
don't do that.
happening. It's already.
No, but you guys bring up a really, really good point. We haven't heard squat diddly about Whoopi Goldberg, or we don't know nothing. Like all we know
We know
is
shit.
we know squat. So
Squat.
um
I'm not drunk. Blue.
yeah, that's okay. It's not Friday, so he's not allowed to be drunk.
Here's my
By the
biggest
way,
fear about the whole story with season 2 is that it's probably going to be a serialized 10 episode arc or something. I don't want the whole season to be some kind of alternate thing that doesn't ultimately matter in the end, or is that's undone or fixed. Like yesterday's Enterprise is kind of like that. It's like most of what happens in that episode is completely undone and in effect didn't really happen, but it was such a good episode that we bought into it. They could achieve it that way. I hear, like, if it's really like intriguing and at the end it's all like just set back to the way it was,
no, but
like
what?
one of these, like it was all a test or an illusion or something. I don't know. I think there should
No,
be
but
only a couple of episodes where they deal with this alternate reality time travel stuff, or it may all be like like a sequence of events. Like first, it's like it's so many questions. Like, why does Seven wake up without the implant? Do they undo? Some people have speculated that Q shows them a time where the Borg didn't encounter Starfleet as soon as they did. Wolf 359 didn't happen, stuff like that.
it's a
And that
conspiracy. It never happened.
and that I mean, because Seven was assimilated before the events of Q Who, right? Am I correct?
Seven. No. If I'm recalling correctly, Annika's parents were studying the Borg because of. So it's post Wolf 359, but before Voyager goes into the
Well,
Delta.
she aged pretty fast, didn't she? I guess.
Well,
No, wait, no, wait, no, wait a minute.
hold on. We can look
I
this up easily.
I think, yeah. Well, somebody pull up Memory Alpha. I believe that Annika's parents were studying the Borg before War 359 because very, very little.
Well, before Q Who.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, what happens in Q Who?
That's when Q pushes them into
Pushes them into Borg
push
space.
into Borg
But
space.
why would
and
they
the
be
Borg are
studying the Borg if they didn't know about the Borg? The Federation didn't know about the Borg.
that's the continuity issue with the Borg. It's like
Yeah, the continuity.
Seven was assimilated as a child, but nobody apparently knew about the Borg. But apparently, Guinance people knew about the Borg, so it's all kind of wishy washy about like who knew and who didn't know about them.
Here we go. That's what it is. Okay, so I guess it. Sorry, I must not have been paying attention in the episode, but they go beyond the Romulan neutral zone. They're not exactly in the Delta Quadrant, so they're beyond the Romulan neutral zone to study a race of cybernetic beings from beyond Romulan neutral zone, known to the people of the Beta Quadrant as the Borg. Okay, so that's weird. The Beta Quadrant knew about it.
They did a bit of retconning with that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Okay, that makes sense.
If we, I think the time travel story that is going to be told in Star Trek Picard is not going to be undone at the end of the season. I think that Terry Mentalis is going to be our showrunner for the remainder of the series, and he's not going to undo what he does in season 2. He's just going to carry that over into season 3. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
there's completely crazy.
There's a lot of potential for a 2-season story arc because of remarks that John Delancey's made about they're filming them both at the same time. They're filming like essentially 20 episodes, and they've done it. They're done now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got 3 live action shows now filmed.
Wow, it's
Now,
crazy, isn't it?
Anson Mount did point out that there may be
Some pickups here and there,
pickups, reshoots, stuff like that, but
right?
probably because of the meticulous planning,
Mhm.
it won't be as much. Because I think in Discovery, when they were done filming, they still had to bring back the Vulcan ambassador to do some extra things, and then that was it. Michelle Paradise was like, "Yeah, we're done now." It was like it
Right.
wasn't long after Las Vegas that the actress, her name escapes me, she's not Irish actress, plays the Vulcan ambassador
Yeah,
to Navarre,
yeah.
and there might be a romance or something. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Sure.
Saru would finally get some. I would be a component to that. Sorry, totally inappropriate for this show. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no, but I'm really liking Michelle Paradise as showrunner. Like initially when she came on to the series, I thought that Alex and her were going to sort of run the ship together. But Alex has given her of a lot of space and a lot of leeway to sort of drive the ship. I mean, they're still doing it together, but Alex is sort of backing off a little bit from what I can see, which is understandable because when it comes to Star Trek Discovery, Alex is very very hands on with almost everything to do with the production of Star Trek Discovery. I mean, he
Well,
is
that's his baby,
yeah
and
yeah he's insane.
he gives a lot of creative control to Mike McMahon. He
Yeah,
gave a lot of creative control to God, who was the guy who Shaban? And
Michael
look how that
Gordon.
turned out. Not to knock Shaban, I know he's a revered author, but
No, yeah,
and
yeah.
his
Michael,
new show Cavalier Clay or whatever could be amazing, but for me, his involvement and just did not work for it. I mean, it was too loosey goosey, man. They just did whatever and just like
Mm.
it didn't work out. And Alison
Mm.
Pill, who's one of the best actors
Yeah,
around, was
Alison Pills
wasted, and
is
oh, it was weird. And Rios, the guy who plays Rios, he's awesome. Like I could see him really going somewhere, but I hope they. And God, I love
what
Michelle Hurd and
Michelle
Jerry
Hurd. Yeah,
Ryan, and
oh,
I love all these
Issa
people.
Brianna.
I want to see them in a good story with a good script, and it's funny and it's fucking.
I think we're gonna get that.
It's funny and
I
it's
think
intriguing and it's out there and it's typical.
yeah.
It's I don't mind if, like I say, like I get sick of time traveling, alternate dimensions, and I fear that like at the end it's
I
all going
love
to be
time travel.
undone.
No, no, no.
But at the
It's
same time, if you give me a fun ride during all that, I'm like whatever.
whatever.
Like in
But
Star Trek 4, right? The
mhm,
Enterprise, from the Earth's point of view, the Enterprise goes and comes back literally right away. They don't know everything they've just been through, so it's like, wait, you're back. You went and you're back. Oh, you have whales now. Oh, problem solved. We got a lot of questions for you guys. It's like
mhm.
it's gonna be. I think Picard will be like that. Is where the individuals characters go on a journey collectively, and it's going to save some element of the universe or something. It's going to be for a greater cause, but other people won't know what happened, type of thing. But they'll know,
Mhm.
like Picard's journey in All Good Things, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or like he
But
knows,
yeah,
so
yeah. Do you
therefore
notice?
it's okay that some things were undone because characters retain a memory of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Do you notice that when we started bagging on Picard, the one guy who loves Picard on this panel just all of a sudden just shut up?
Yeah, I don't talk to anyone about Star Trek Picard. It's too personal.
Oh, really? Are you
Yeah.
joshing me? No, you have to be joshing.
No, I think he's just
Oh
fascinated by
wow!
what we're saying.
Did I?
Yeah,
Wait a
and
minute.
I'm also curious about what you guys are saying
Yeah,
because
so
I'm actually intrigued because I actually have no expectations for season 2. I kind of am one of those people when it comes to Star Trek Picard. It's like probably I'm like I will just like whatever they do. Like I'm a huge fan of the Michael Chabon series. I was a little
No, I
disappointed
know.
to find out that they didn't really they didn't really have an ending in mind or something. What was it that
Oh my God, really?
Akiva Goldsman admitted to PJ exactly? So I was a little disappointed by that, but I didn't mind. I mean, like to me, the point of Star Trek Picard wasn't the ending of the Cthulhu alien or whatever. That was like the least interesting thing about it for me.
And I also think um, Patrick Stewart's creative input,
Killed it.
no, it restricted certain ideas from being explored. Like they had to fight to get him in that uniform for the flashback, right? They're like, okay, we won't put you in the uniform, but by the way, one of the first things we're going to film is you in a Starfleet uniform. And he's like,
Well,
okay, get it over with.
I could have sworn I saw an interview where he admitted himself that like it felt right at the end when he actually did it. Like he originally one of his creative it's been a mission to get Sir Patrick Stewart back in the spacesuit, as it were. He has even made statements in the past which were really disappointing as a person who loves that era of Star Trek, where he had said, "I'll never put the spacesuit on again." Like he's actually made those statements, and so it's
Because
you
it
can
hurt his
imagine how
back.
yeah, you can imagine how
It hurt
disheartening that is to
fine.
hear. So on the one hand, I was like, I don't care what his restrictions are, just get him back on, get him back
I,
on TV or whatever. But
I often,
I think he ultimately acquiesced because he said that it felt right the way that they were, positioning it. And I think for Star Trek, Picard season 2, he's probably going to be less restrictive. I think it seems like he's probably on board with whatever the writers and the showrunner wants to do.
But I do think, as much as I give Michael I give Shaban a bunch of crap for the things that I don't particularly like about um, season 1 of Star Trek Picard. I do give him credit in the fact that he's the one that wrote the the um, the beat sheet that convinced Sir Patrick Stewart to come back to Star Trek. Because
Yeah,
because if it wasn't for Michael Chabon writing a series of emails after he was given permission from Alice Kurtzman, we would have never gotten Star Trek Picard. So I do thank him for that. But yeah, I would just like to say, because I feel that every time I start talking about Picard, that I come off a little bit more negative than I actually feel about the show. I really like the show. There are just certain things about it that just bother me just a tiny bit. I'm not like other people that just hate the show and don't give you particular reasons why.
well, it seems to me that with more of these shows, they're learning. It is a learning process. I don't find that any of these creators are the types to dismiss criticism. They may dismiss straight out hate for like somebody's like, "You're fucking woke, man." It's
Yeah,
like,
they might. Yeah.
yeah, I can see them rolling their eyes and kind of ignoring that. But somebody was like, "I like this, but I didn't like that. I like this, but I didn't like that."
Yeah.
Or with some shows, like certain episodes of Lower Decks, like, "Oh man, it's all good. It's all good." Like every moment is fun and
Mhm.
great to look at, and there
Yeah.
are episodes of Discovery that are still good to go back and watch. They're fucking excellent. Episode 10 of the first season, for example, episode 2 of the second season, which is one of the best modern episodes of Star Trek. Very traditional and just takes you back. And it's the one with Owo and Burnham down on the planet with the church that was moved.
Oh, New Eden, yeah.
New Eden. Ultimately, that didn't make any sense
Yeah, but it's
retroactively when you know how everything plays out. But at the time, it was like you go back. It's a good little episode.
It's a great episode.
Same thing with Picard. They're the first and last episodes, like maybe not the second last, but the very last episode, the first and the last episode, are ones that I can go back and watch and enjoy. I like the pilot episode of Picard. I think it shows a lot of promise. let me down a bit later on, but that's fine. I know they have a second chance now.
Mhm.
And
No,
it's really weird with seasons of TV shows or even movie serials like parts 1 and 2 and whatever. There's
Mhm.
always ups and downs. Like it's never consistent. It's so difficult
right.
as producers, creators, directors, writers to keep
Mhm.
topping themselves. So if they start out and it's wonky, what happens is the second try is usually pretty good. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot better. And then sometimes they try so hard to top like the second thing that they did that the third season or the third movie is okay, or it's weird, it's too weird, it's too off base. You know what I mean?
I have a
Everybody,
guess about I have a guess about Star Trek Prodigy.
what?
It's a
What?
fluidic space drive. They go to fluidic space. They like.
Where'd you get that?
I just
It
guessed
just
it.
popped
It's
into
just
your
a
head?
guess. Just popped in my head. Because when
That's
they
really
pop out of the
ridiculous.
eye looking thing, it looks fluid, like a fluid almost. It looks like they're popping out of water, and it has a ripple effect. So I'm guessing they go through fluidic
Fluidic
space.
space drive.
James Gunn should really direct an episode of Modern Trek because he has that eye thing too, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but I'm really really grateful that I have discovered the Star Trek fan community, because talking to you guys and the fact that you guys take apart almost every little part of Trek, when I go back and watch it, I actually enjoy it more, because you guys, on very very minor occasions, drive me insane with with the level of minutia that you guys often go into, that when I actually step back and watch the show, I enjoy it way more. So I keep I keep thinking to myself, one day I'm going to say something that's going to get me kicked off of one of these streams. But I really really appreciate you guys for how nerdy you guys get about Star Trek.
I'm offended by appreciation, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
kick you off now, sir.
yeah.
No, I'm joking. Uh, I
I
think the
yeah
drive in
I
Prodigy will have limitations, like it can only be used at a certain time, or they have to use a certain type of sun to charge it, etc. That could be possible.
a sun. I like that. Like a like what kind of like a protostar. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But like a protostar sun, or like a
Uh,
specific molecule.
isn't that the key though? Then there's something in the name
The
that
protostar, yeah.
that links
A
to its power
protostar.
source or the way it gets power.
Mhm.
And it could be one of these experimental things. It's one of the things I dislike about Discovery Season 3, that it makes so concrete that dilithium's the only way, baby. It's like there are other ways, but dilithium's the best and most effective way. And we learned in TNG that the warp technology used for all that time is somehow damaging. And I always thought as a kid, even like, okay, well, Star Trek will eventually, as it moves on, develop another kind of drive or another kind of like way of getting around that doesn't uh, concern dilithium crystals.
Mhm.
And I hate that Discovery kind of says no, there will never be that, because then the writers who want to think up an alternative to warp drive or a way to use warp drive without dilithium crystals can't do it because Discovery said it's not. So they could do it, but they would have to have it fail at some point for it
Mm.
to be legit in the canon, I guess.
No, I think like if I was pitching a Star Trek show, and if I if I was writing a story that had me where I thought, one of the cogs that I wanted to put in my story is that I didn't want my ship to run on traditional dilithium. I would probably go to, Alex Kurtzman, and I would pitch him on this new particle, and I think that he would actually hear me out, and I think that he would allow me to do it.
Do you think it would get to a point
Um,
if they had a really good idea, they'd be like, well, let's just
No,
not worry about the
no,
continuity
no. I
of
mean,
I
the year
think
3000,
series
whatever?
I
no.
think
I mean,
series 4, I'm hoping one of the things is that a lot of future ships will just be retrofitted with the spore drive. Like I don't see why Discovery's spore drive. To me, the spore drive is the most advanced thing in the 31st century. Like, if you're
Exactly.
telling me,
It
if you're
was the
telling
most
me that,
advanced.
yeah, if you're telling me that dilithium, the only progress they've made in like 900 years is that dilithium is still the the ubiquitous. I mean, they do mention quantum slipstream um, in Star Trek Discovery season 3. They also mentioned trilithium as a source of propulsion or
What's
power.
dilithium? What's the difference between trilithium and
I don't
dilithium?
know, but trilithium is what Soren was using in
Tell me everything you know
about
Tell me.
about
Yeah,
trilithium.
dilithium.
so, so I would think that like Discovery, like I was actually surprised that they didn't like they couldn't replicate like in season 3, but I feel like by season 4, like every ship in at least in Starfleet should have a spore drive. Like it's super easy. We now know more than just Stamets can pilot. Book can pilot it. Like the interface doesn't require you to butcher your arms anymore. Like so, I feel like
Here,
you know,
No, yeah, for
here's the logical narrative that they seem to be setting up with the spore drive and book species in particular. And I don't have faith that they're smart enough to know exactly where to go with it. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They could have a better idea than me. But they seem to be setting up that okay, it's time now for Starfleet to have the spore drive. So you replicate
yeah,
it. You 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 acquire members of book species to train to do it because the revelation is that something within book species, well, I forget the name of the species, their DNA, that they're pretty much the only ones besides Stamets that can do the job. They clearly set this up at the end of season 3. Spoiler, sorry. Yeah, obviously, if you watched it, anybody's listening. But so it seems logical to me that they should pursue, and I'm not going to get pissed off if they don't, as long as they give me something good. But I'm going to be wondering why, if by the next season they don't have like common use of it, and Starfleet uh, growing and becoming like a force, not a malevolent force, but people take notice like, oh, these Starfleet people are fucking serious, and we shouldn't mess with them. They should have more things
yeah,
like that
yeah. I agree.
instead of like this gravitational anomaly that they're going to deal with. I don't know about
I
that.
don't think that. I think that's just like a
Could be an
what they had
episodic
as a.
thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a. I was a little. I'm a little worried about that too, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal.
yeah. So you guys don't like the overall mystery box of Star Trek Discovery?
I
You know
was a
what?
little
It's
bit
okay.
disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed. I'm rewatching it. It grows on me more and more. Like I don't mind it as much, but like initially, I was a little bit surprised and disappointed that Sukal was the source of the burn. It just didn't seem like something that like I think like in general Star Trek Discovery kind of was staying pretty good with like the plausibility, but that one was just for some reason to me that seemed like outrageous
Jump the shark moment.
that like you could be so tied into dilithium that like your emotional state could cause it to like basically
They,
destabilize across the whole galaxy. I mean, like, or yeah, like it's not just the alpha quadrant. It was like the alpha quadrant, the beta quadrant. Yeah, it seems like everyone everywhere was affected
at
by it,
least in
and
the galaxy.
it also seemed really weird that 900 years into the future, no one had developed an equivalent to the spore drive, and they were talking about this SB19 or SB13 or whatever it was called, like technology that the Vulcans were working on, and they thought that that was the source of the burn. I kind of like that more,
By the
but
way,
whatever.
that's a mystery that's never solved. Why did the Vulcans think that? That's never answered. It's just that they thought it, and that's it.
They think that
It's literally it.
it's because the evidence they had beforehand correlated with the SB19 or whatever it's called experiments and the burn. So they just kind of like put two and two
It
together. But yeah, it
they
to
didn't.
me it yeah.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't put anything together because pretty much if you were to like fill in the blanks yourself, yes, it coincided with the burn, and they thought they were responsible. But like Vulcans are so meticulous and so logical that it seems that what the Discovery crew and Michael discover and find out, somebody in the universe should have already figured out.
Yeah.
And it
Also,
seems
the
to be
spore drive, just
but
like yeah.
and it's also a series, and it's a writing thing of putting them in extraordinary events and creating extraordinary coincidences. Like, what's this song thing I'm hearing?
Oh, the song thing. I felt like got.
I
I
thought it
mean,
was
we're
going to
not
be
here to.
"Burn, Baby Burn"
Yeah.
by Disco
Just
Inferno.
going for now. I guess yeah. Now we're just talking about like deeper Star Trek stuff, but like to me, ultimately, like yeah, Star Trek Discovery season 3 kind of left a lot of these like plates in the air that they never like dropped down. That they never like. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of little mysteries that never got solved, or like it's weird because like there's this whole song that everyone has in their head, and it turns out that the song was just like underneath it was a distress signal. So I was like,
That's a little
it was
much, right?
It's
confusing.
like something that's in the it's
That was a cool idea. Like I liked it
they
because
take
I don't know, have you guys seen Battlestar Galactica,
Oh yeah.
no. Well,
the
that's not about that.
reimagined series?
No,
Okay, if you
it's
haven't seen it, but there's something they do with music. I'll just say that there's something that they do with music in that, which is really cool. And I thought they were going in this similar kind of
Wait a minute,
direction.
PJ, you don't like Battlestar Galactica? Let's start.
no.
Let's
He just
unpack
hasn't
it.
seen it.
I haven't seen
He
it. I
just
don't want
hasn't
to
seen.
know.
He
I don't
hasn't
want
seen
to
it.
know. It's still on Prime.
You haven't
Yeah.
seen Battlestar Galactica?
I've watched
Ever...
I've watched the first pilot thing, the 2 hour movie thing.
PJ, we should do watch longs for Battlestar
Dude,
Galactica. I would
we need
100%
no.
love to watch it with
We need
you.
to do that, and you guys need to invite me because I love
I'm like
Battlestar.
Picard. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi. Believe it or not, I'm
No,
not somebody who
we're-
like. I like it when I was a kid. I was like, oh, Andromeda's coming out. Cool. Watched it. I hate this. What was the other one? Earth Final Conflict. I gotta watch this. Hated it. What was another one? Babylon 5 was another one where I was like,
I don't like.
I watched it for a bit, and then I was like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, I
And I
don't
would
like
always go
Babylon
back to
5.
Trek because there was always new stuff coming out with Trek. So it was like that's my sci-fi go-to.
Yeah,
Then
you know.
I discovered Aliens and fucking all the great 70s sci-fi and
Mhm.
80s Terminator, and I
Mhm.
always loved Terminator 2 as a kid. So
Yeah, I watched
stuff like
like
that.
I watched the first like the first 20 minutes of the pilot for Babylon 5, and I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't get over the makeup for one of the specific aliens that had like
The
his
spiky
hair.
hair.
Yeah, I'm like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, give me some Ferengi. I'll take Ferengi over that idiot any day.
Visually, it didn't work for me
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
yeah.
There was a space cop show they did in Britain with like animatronic heads and everything. Like, it was really elaborate. It was a comedy show. It was a sitcom,
Cool.
and it cost $1 million per episode, which at the time was
Amazing,
a
right?
lot for a sitcom, a
Yeah,
30-minute sitcom. Right?
yeah. But I do think that at some point in the future, you should give Battlestar another shot. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But uh, give it another shot because it's a wonderful, wonderful show, and I'm actually rewatching it now too, along with Voyager. So I just started
There's too
season
much
2.
to watch. I'm watching the Spike Lee documentary, the Gossip documentary about uh, Rupert Murdoch's New York Post stuff, and
Oh yeah,
I
cool.
watch a lot of stuff that HBO Max comes out with, or HBO and HBO
HBO.
Max, or
Yeah,
Showtime are my
it's
go-tos.
HBO. Yeah,
Showtime is
I
great.
I love HBO. HBO is really, really wonderful. Um,
I
yeah.
just to recommend, go off course before we wrap it up. There's a comedy I must recommend. It's called Vacation Friends. And by
Hmm.
God, if this wasn't one of the best films I've seen in a long time, I'll tell you why. It stars Lil Ray Howery. You know Lil Ray, right?
It's ringing a bell, but I think I need more help.
And John Cena.
Oh, okay. Well, I know who
a-
John Cena is. Yeah.
And Yvonne Orji.
Huh.
And others anyway. I tweeted about it, and
Yeah,
the
I
star of the
saw
film
you.
retweeted it, and two of the actors in it liked it. And
It's awesome.
but anyway, I had no idea. I just watched it on a whim, didn't look at reviews, and I didn't expect much because I'm like dumb straight to streaming. It's on Hulu, but it's on Star and Disney Plus in Canada. I was like, man, this is pretty good. That's my review. I don't want to say too much,
All right.
but it's
Well,
good. It's good. It's genuinely good comedy. I haven't seen one of those in a while. I'm
I'll
sorry.
check it out.
Somebody's in the private chat.
Who's in the project? Who's
Oh,
who's listening to us
oh,
already?
ooh, weird messages in there.
Mm.
All right, well, we gotta go. Uh,
We
I
That's
didn't
know.
realize.
anticlimactic.
I didn't realize we'd be talking for almost 2 hours, but it's getting late. It's getting late. But
Well, thank you for having me on for the first time ever on Boatrek.
what do you got to promote, Marcelo?
Yeah, well, if you guys want to see more of my happy face, you can catch my personal videos at YouTube/Balloonhead Productions. I just did a update video on that channel, detailing things that I have up and coming on that channel in the future. So you guys are encouraged to go check that out if you like seeing my little happy face and seeing me ramble on about all sorts of sci-fi shit. That's the best place to find me. And on Twitter, I'm at CreekFanatic88. So that's it.
Starfleet Boy.
You can find me on Starfleet Boy and Starfleet Boy After Dark. Check those two channels out. We do every Thursday we do a Star Trek Lower Decks reaction type video. So this Thursday, 2 days from now, we'll do the one for the latest episode. And then what just happened? That was weird.
I accidentally clicked on something. Go ahead. My
I was
finger
like,
slipped.
whoa.
My finger literally slipped.
And then I was like, whoa. And then Fridays we do Starfleet Boy After Dark, and Saturdays we do a TOS discussion at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check us out.
All right.
And thanks
check
for
out-
having me on. I really enjoyed this discussion.
Thank you for having me
Hey.
on so much. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, people. It was great. It was fun. It was fun times.
Thank you.
Until next time, folks, live long and prosper.
Bye.